Put the link back in there. Got the Soccer City link, the Vela. I'm getting that popping. Push that on. We live on the YouTube. Shit. All right, what's up, people? What's up, people? Got a little. I'm hearing a little echo, but I think when I did the research before, I didn't hear echo. So I think we should be straight. Let me go to my notes. What's up, people? Welcome to Saga City, where we talk historical fiction and repatriation to Africa. Check out the free episodes of our book, Saga City, The Bloodlines of Kemet, in the description below. So let's get into it. The Woman King issues, perceived issues. I didn't really have any issues, but I almost got discouraged to watch the film. Thank you to my brother Benu to be like, yo, like, it's not. It ain't. Dr. Boyce messed up. Had he messed up for a minute. I was about to, but in the to keep it 100, he did say it was a great film though. But I think he focused on the negative parts because it brings views or whatever. But really, after that, I started seeing, and we're gonna go through them. I just started seeing like you gotta get all kind of views on social media. You gotta get every perspective. But it seemed like there was backlash. So I was like, what the hell's going on? So just start this thing off. Let's just react and to everybody. What do you think about the film that you saw? What was it good or bad about what we just saw? We just seen it like an hour or two ago. The Woman King. What was the good and bad? But all right, we got Bano. Everybody know who Bano is. I'm Knuckles. This is my nephew Capo right here. CJ. I don't know if we want to say CJ. My messenger.
Yeah, you good.
I want to put like no. Yeah, go get. All right. Yeah, we over here building, talking about spirituality and business and empire building. With the family. Yo, CJ. Like we've been doing this too. Like we used to go to the Hamptons, and I used to bring out the whiteboard and talk about family structure and investing together and buying houses. We be at the Hamptons is like a white beach community. Puffy throw white parties there. We'd be at the hotel like, this is what we gotta do as a fan. You know what I'm saying? So we on that. We on Empire, and he's all grown up now, and we still at it. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely family business. You know what I'm saying? As it should be. So we here, trying to free ourselves independently, and I just got word that my oldest daughter's going back to school. So shout out to her.
Okay.
Gotta get on a phone call with that after. She was a little rogue last year. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. I was the same way. So I still love her, and when she's ready to get the proper help and resources, we here. Cause I think she see my youngest daughter Ribbon. She like this little girl getting everything. Like, hold on, Ribbon the Pharaoh was on fire. But yeah, all my kids is beautiful. But back to the story. So I'm gonna let CJ, because he's he's never been to Africa yet, but he's about to plan a trip, and he's at the. Hey, you want to tell him how old you are? You care?
He good.
He's in his 20s, young man. You know what I'm saying? And when I was his age, I definitely wasn't as the way his brain works. He's ahead of us. You know what I'm saying? So 25, I was. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't go to Africa about 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I was still dating white women at 25. Nah. It was like, what? I had my buddy slippers.
Maybe call Jean Boyega now.
I had my buddy slippers on. I had the bunny slippers on. I had the snow bunny slippers on still. You know what I'm saying? Word. But yeah, so what you felt about this film, The Woman King? What you like and dislike about it?
What I liked and disliked about it, I like the unity. That's one thing that I'm about. I'm like the subliminal messages. I like the messages showing us what we need to do and how we need to get back on track as one, because we got a lot of how can I say it? We divided, and that's hurting us a lot. So just even seeing it, through a woman's point of view, or if it was a man's point of view, but it is called Woman's King. Just seeing it through a woman's point of view and them being able to do just as much, if not more, and think way better, more strategical, and really execute and not let their egos get the best of them. It was just an amazing movie overall and all around, because there's a lot of things that we go through in our daily life that stops us from getting to the goals that we need to. And just watching the movie showed me that there's a lot of things that we are able to overcome without just putting those obstacles in front of us. So the movie was really good. What I learned from it, I learned about the sacrifices, the rituals. I didn't expect it to be so gutsy and bloody and glory. Like I didn't expect them to do all that killing, but I definitely just learned that unity is a lot, and it's a lot of love out there.
Okay, okay. Go ahead, Baynu. Go ahead, Baynu.
Well, I
What's
said
good?
I saw. Hey, I tried to tell you, but look, yeah, I say, we would have seen it the opening weekend, right? Wanted to see it again. Might go see it again tonight. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but when we before, just like a lot of people, um, before going to see it, I already heard a lot of the doubts and suspicions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I coming from the perspective of a scholar and a historian, right? Some of the issues that because there's a few different issues, from various places, whether or not it was going to be divisive, you know you know, as it pertains to black male female relations in our community, whether it promoted feminism or promoted other isms that we might have some issues with. You know, I heard it all, and some of it's like, okay, woman and king, right? That's people saying that's contradictory. How you going to be a woman king? This and the third. What's up with that? Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm like, you know, did Sekhmet, is this not a actual force? Did Hatshepsut, not actually exist? So big Neferu, was he not like coming from a historical standpoint? Rulership was never a gender war for African people,
Can I
right?
counter that though? Can I counter
Huh?
that? Can I counter that?
Go ahead.
It wasn't a gender thing for African people, but like I told my nephew while we was watching it, and this is what I learned from you, they didn't genderize the title. Pharaoh, I mean Nasu Hatshepsut was was ruler. Like it wasn't didn't say woman ruler, right?
Mm.
Just said
She
ruler.
was she was Nisupiti,
Nefertiti,
right? She was king.
yeah, Nefertiti was emperor, queen. Like it wasn't woman ruler. It wasn't woman. So I think that's the thing people talking about. Like,
I say
king,
Nefertiti was never a ruler.
she was never a ruler.
No, Nefertiti was the wife
Of,
of the king who was Akhenaten. So Nefertiti, the title she bore was Hamat Nesuwarit, which is the great royal
right.
wife, or
Okay, so she was
equivalent
white.
to like queen mother.
Yeah.
Right, 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 right,
Okay.
right.
So Hatshepsut was Nisu, which is
She was king.
for
She was king of
American English.
kings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my issue with that. Like, why couldn't I mean? There's different ways you could do it because art is art. So I'm not saying I'm not against it. I know like the point I'm trying to make, but when you say, I think that's part of the argument with people was saying why you put woman king, call it king and show the woman and be like, oh, what, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's still
Mm.
king. You know what I'm saying? Like you can still call it king if we're using this American, I guess dialect or whatever,
Mhm.
vernacular or whatever, but and show it as like just have the woman. Cause we can see it's a woman, like you know what I'm saying. We can see but I guess I'm just picking at little things. But that was the thing I think when people were, hopefully they were referring to. So
Yeah.
what do
Well,
you say about
from standpoint of the film, right? What you're saying in regards to the title in particular, if we were dealing with Kemet, I would agree with the standpoint, but from the perspective of the film, it seems as though that the actual title, that she was given by the king, right?
Mm.
Which I think if they didn't put woman king in front of it, it might have led to a little confusion because then you get into the film and then there is an actual king who
oh
is a man. You know what I mean? In the joint played by John Boyega, and he is the one that through just countless appreciation for the countless contributions that she made to a people in her service and duty to the people, he elevated her to that spot, and see again, this is kind of like the point that I think people miss because they want to turn it into this male versus female, like a gender war, and
yeah,
it's not that at all in the joint. You had these beautiful women. They want to act like the women was, they said you got all these manly women and these
they were
butch women and this, that.
they were beautiful. They were
You know what I
beautiful.
mean?
But I'm not. Tariq Nasheed got us fucked up. You know what I'm saying? He did
Yes.
he was reaching because he did say he did say it was a nigga walking around with a thong in the first 5 minutes. That wasn't true. He straight up lied and said that. It wasn't just a nigga at the beginning though. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think? What do you think about that? As far as you got a lot of people in African community, on not African community, we all African community, but like, what would you say? African enthusiasts or historical enthusiasts? Basically, what I that character who was that the male character who kind of wasn't really male character. Is
Okay.
that African?
The eunuch,
That's correct.
right? He was a
Yeah,
eunuch.
yeah.
Okay. So
Okay, so give me.
yes, yeah. So
Like, the Africans don't. We don't play that. We don't. Africans don't play that. They had that nigga walk around with his elbows behind his back. Hey,
how
he's gonna walk around crazy.
I mean, again, he's a eunuch. So, folks say, okay, African, in Africa, we didn't play that, this, that, and third. How did he become a eunuch? Why was he a eunuch? Who were eunuchs historically, right?
No, I was
How?
like, okay, go ahead. I thought
No, go
how
ahead.
like he did something bad and they chop him. Or he
Well, no,
just
no, 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 no. I'm not saying that he did something bad, but there's certain things that, okay, you know,
I mean,
if something wasn't tolerated, right, within the culture,
oh,
okay,
okay.
you
I see where
know,
you going.
in
I see where
order
you.
to um stop you from
Oh,
engaging
oh.
in certain things,
So
certain
he
things might happen,
damn.
but
That's a good point. I gotta give you another point. I'm gonna give you another
yeah,
point for that one. I'm gonna give you another
yeah,
point.
there's a
So,
sacrifice that is made, right? And then
yeah,
you
yeah.
saw he wasn't castigated, and this is something that existed in certain cultures. You can look to
Mm.
certain cultures. Matter of fact, the brother Maladoma Some, right, who wrote a couple of books, about his people in Burkina Faso, you know, um, and I think he goes into the Bambara tradition a little bit as well. But he talks about how people that may have been considered homosexual or whatever in, Western culture. In their culture, they were gatekeepers, right?
Mm,
And this essentially is what this guy was in this character, in this character in this film. He was like the overseer over the place of women, over the king's wives, and an advisor to him, right? So this is something that existed historically, and number one, so that he could fill that position, and you ain't got to worry about him messing with none of the women, right? And that he also may not engage in certain behaviors that were culturally taboo, right? The sacrifice was made
yeah,
of certain parts, and that's why he's a
I,
eunuch.
I give you that. And that's a good, because like, say if he did, because what I was thinking before was, eunuchs were like, say like they got captured. It's like you stole something, cut your arm off, or if you did something, whatever, whatever. So if I was like, if he did something bad and he got that chop for whatever, why would he act extra saucy after that? Unless he was that before that.
Yeah,
So with saying, I didn't look at it like that when I seen that. I thought that kind of made him like that. But I was like, so you by you breaking that down, saying he was, and I was like, oh, because there's another what TV show they have a eunuch? Is it Game of Thrones? The fat chubby dude?
mm,
I think it's Game of Thrones. Like the first
okay,
season, I think they have that, and I'm not sure if the dude is kind of sassy or whatever, but I guess that's a slick way of almost proving that, making that point without being like bashed for it.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
'cause
yeah,
if you just break it down and say it bluntly, I can see that being a whole anti thing, kind of, But the
yeah,
way
yeah, yeah,
that was kind of slick. That was some Jamaican slick. Like Jamaicans get away
yeah,
with the homophobia because that's the beat in the. You be like, you be singing along, and you be like, what I just say? You be
yeah,
like, burn the nigga. You like, yo,
yeah,
god damn. Like, you be like, what the fuck? Like, what did I just say? Like that
yeah,
reggae
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You be like, they be saying some shit you don't even be understanding, but they get away with a lot of shit. They get away.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, it's definitely something that existed in certain cultures on the continent historically, and even outside of the continent. Like when you read, uh, for folk that are into the Bible, right? People that are into that, read the Bible, and when it references eunuchs, right? This is who they're talking about. These are the people that they're
oh,
talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like there's references.
this dude, sidebar. This dude, Ong Bane right here.
Mhm.
See him, Professor Smalls. That's people as far as who I know. I respect his thoughts on a lot of stuff because this dude, not say this dude, let's talk like that, whatever. But this man right here, he went through like the whole spectrum of different spiritual systems, religion, faith, cultures. So what he's saying is not just coming from one thought concept of like this is what I believe, whatever. Like even things
Mhm.
he may not really be in, like or go along with. Yeah, he just broke like he just what I don't know if he really messed with the King James Bible like that, but he knows like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he ain't hugging the Bible, like you know what I'm saying? But in order for him to get that information, he had to do research, and I respect people like where you went through those steps of. I always believe in that. Like he wanted to go. I think India. No, not India. He said he wanted to go to China. I think it was somewhere. He was like, you still want to go to Turkey? I think it was.
Turkey, yeah, Turkey,
He was like,
Japan. I
he
want to go.
wanted. He need to go get all that. Yeah. So like, so when he talked, like, he always from a position of knowledge, not just personal view. You know what I'm saying? So just give him props to you, Brandon.
310, 310. Yo.
Where
But yeah, I say the film to me, I didn't see, as far as like good and bad, right?
mhm.
Mhm.
I didn't really come out of it with any criticisms, right? Now I understand some of the issues that people took with the historical
Mhm.
accuracy, right? The way
Yeah.
that the kingdom of Dahomey was portrayed in the film versus the way that they actually were in history, right? I
What was
understood that, but here's
what
my issue,
that though? What was that?
huh?
What was that when they say that? What were they talking about?
So basically, the film, right? It portrays
As
really
good people or something. I mean, as what's the false narrative?
well. The false narrative is that they were these Pan Africanist, right? These African liberators,
Uh,
who begin to grow into an anti slavery, anti slave trade, perspective and disposition, and that they actually acted on it in the film because the film ends. Are we giving spoilers?
Mm.
yeah, yeah. If y'all
Okay.
ain't seen the movie, I mean, you could maybe omit a piece of whatever, but whatever, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You can
Film,
spoilers.
you saw the film in.
Was it second week? Was it second week out?
Yeah, it's been out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah, 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 yeah. Two, you ain't see, yeah, 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 yeah. We
The
didn't ruin the first
film,
week.
yeah, the film ends with them burning the whole shit down.
Yeah.
Burn the whole shit. Kill them all. Right?
Mhm.
Not one Wazi, right? Wazungu, one European, not one of them survive in the joint. You know?
Uh-huh.
It's I say, this was something different, right? But historically, they say that the king that John Boyega, actually portrays in the film, was absolutely against ending the transatlantic slave trade or
Oh,
ending his people's participation in it, right? So,
mm,
you know, and we don't
okay.
know if that's historically accurate or not. That's coming like third hand or whatever. But what I can say is for me, I'm a fan of reimagining,
Mm,
narratives and we working in historical fiction, right?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of using, popular art to promote our ideology and agenda. I'm a fan of getting involved in propaganda, right?
mm,
And we can't just be victims to propaganda, and we've been shit for years, right? We've been getting fed inaccurate histories,
oh, to this day.
right?
Public
You know what I
school.
mean?
Yeah.
You
Public
know,
school, church.
they mad at us for having black history, right? Talking about we ain't got white history. Shit, what history ain't white,
Yeah.
right? That we've received. You know what I mean? So and then it's all bullshit, right? They the founders of all civilization. They're the builders. They're the inventors. They did it all. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they feed us their propaganda,
Mm-hmm.
right? Make us stand and take an oath to their flag,
Yep. I pledge allegiance.
right? From shorties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But here we are with a film that we can call
The art. Yep.
propagandistic, right?
Yeah.
In our own way, promoting Pan African nationalism,
Yeah.
African liberation,
Yeah.
right? Portraying
And the
African
Africa.
culture,
Pan African. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And African spiritual traditions in a not only a positive light, but like, oh, this is some real shit. right?
And the
Because
light skin nigga wasn't soft.
and
Let's
the,
go. Let's
yo,
go.
you know what I mean? Boy went in there and found his heart.
He cut it off.
He went in there, he went in there and found his heart.
Yeah. He found himself. He seen his family. He seen his peoples.
You know what I mean?
He
That's
woke up.
powerful.
Word. He seen his mom. He's like, you know what I'm saying? He woke up.
Yeah.
But real quick, let me go to this Dr. Boyce clip. And I just want to get your perspectives on what he's about to say. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here we go. Here we go. Let me bring this back in here. Okie dokie. Uh-oh.
Yo, is it playing?
Yeah. You hear it? I mean,
No.
no, it's audio.
Nah, I can't hear it, and it's definitely not moving.
All right, hold on. You heard it, CJ?
Yeah.
Damn. Hold on. Maybe I heard it from. Let me see. Is the mute?
If you don't get it, it's all right. You need to hear that Buster nowhere.
No. Maybe I didn't put the audio on. Let me see. Screen share slide. Video. Some screens let you show your look for the share audio. Let me see.
Europeans went after the arch rival. The arch
There you
rival
go.
was actually a black man,
Okay.
and you have to really ask yourself, how is it that
Let me bring it back.
when you're talking about ancient Africa, I knew that there'd be some toxic masculinity. We got back. We did a full review of the film in terms of what we thought, the pros and the cons.
Is that
Just to
Boyce?
summarize that, and you can check out the review, the full review.
Why you sound like that?
BoyceAndAliciaTV.com, BoyceAndAliciaTV.com. That's our channel. Basically, it was interesting because I thought the movie wasn't terrible because I kind of knew what to expect. I know how Hollywood is. I know what the agenda looks like. I knew that the film would probably be filled with narratives that were based on mostly white leftist feminism, based on LGBT issues, transgender issues, maybe a Me Too moment or two. I knew that there'd be some toxic masculinity, particularly from a black male in the film. And the film didn't disappoint. It checked every single box when you talk about the white liberal agenda. In fact, what was really interesting, and this is something I didn't observe when I was watching the film, was that the arch rival of Viola Davis's character wasn't actually racist white people. The Europeans were not the arch rival. The arch rival was actually a black man. And you have to really ask yourself, how is it that when you're talking about ancient Africa, or not ancient, but African history and the slave trade, how is it that the Europeans are not the public enemy number one? And so,
okay, let's expand and go on that. So you mentioned a few topics. What do you guys? Why does my audio sound like that?
Whatever decision you made to to get us to hear that, just go back. Just go back. You be good.
Yo.
Yo.
Just feel like I had like an echo. All I did was do the screen share. Let's just keep. I'm trying to click it, and
Is it in the screen share?
yeah, I ended it.
Okay.
Yeah, just go from there. See what's up. Yeah. So what do you think about the boys?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let our good brother Capo, let our good brother Capo deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
What I think about that? I actually, I seen it, but as much as he lined it up, scenario for what I seen with my own two eyes during the movie, I really couldn't correlate the two, but I definitely do agree with certain scenes that were very relatable to this day. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing certain placements with people and dressed in different clothing and representing certain type of symbolism really showed me that even back then they still going through the same problems that we going through right now. Seeing our own brothers selling us for
Mm.
the wealth and riches is like just another thing we still doing to in this day and age. So just seeing that back then, like literally like yesterday, I just thought that this was the only day and age that gives up their life for the wealth and riches and want more and want to have more wealthiness, more food, whatever the case may be. I've just thought that only this generation has been that way.
Mm.
But just watching that movie shows me that, the strategical plan that they had was been in effect since long ago, to really separate us and make us want to be able to feed ourselves. So I think on what he said, even with the LGBTQ, having them
It
in,
did check some of those boxes. I
yeah,
don't think it was like negative,
yeah,
but it was I guess it was there. He said
yeah,
like you had the eunuch, he was
mm-hmm,
sassy, but it wasn't like it didn't feel forced though.
yeah,
It didn't feel like hey you. It was like in the way Bando explained it too. I think it was actually kind of very slick how they did it, but it still had it. I guess. I guess they had boxes like in the producers was like we
Uh-huh.
need that, we need that, we need that.
check off,
You know what I'm saying?
check off.
Yeah.
I didn't see no I didn't see any females staring too hard at each other though. I didn't see like no lesbianism, nothing like that. Nothing wrong with that, but I didn't see
Not,
that.
not really, but I feel like just off of the, how tough they made the women look. They made the women look as if they were on only interested in maybe women. You know what I'm saying? The way they was just so. I could say the woman who became king. At first I thought she wasn't into men. And then her best, I think her best friend or her best warrior. I thought she was too tough. All the women seemed too tough to really be wanting to be in love with a man. So
I
but
mean, what is too tough to be in love with a man?
um, from my point of view, is just acting like you don't need help. Even they said it themselves. Love makes you weak. And it might make you more vulnerable, but I don't think it makes you more weak. If anything, it could make you much more stronger. What I'm saying, depending how you look at it, how we all look at it, we look
Yeah.
at things from different point of views. So everybody has a different say when it comes down to it. But yeah, Shorty said that she said love made you weak, and not to look at the men. Don't go run off seeing men and people who are curious. I think if I'm not mistaken, curious could hurt the crew or fall off and be their own.
Mm.
Okay, okay. What do you think, Bano, about the boys clip?
Well, let me say this, right? Um, I think that's that algorithm shit
Mm-hmm.
that he's doing, you
Okay.
know, in terms of certain points, we make points, we create talking points,
Oh,
we create uh negative narratives because that's what feeds the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got a lot of negativity surrounding this film as though Joker's is on payroll some damn where
yeah.
to come out against it. And it's like folk that haven't even, seen the joint is doing, you know, 2 hours and 3 hours, YouTubes on the joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy, right? It's crazy. But liberal leftist ideology where I didn't how you say it didn't connect with me. It didn't connect with me, right? You know what I'm saying? And I studied political science. And you know what I'm saying? It didn't, if it was there like some deliberate, yo, let me push this to you, it wasn't there. I didn't get it. Right? You know, some quote unquote toxic masculinity,
That's what
whatever
he
the
said
hell
that.
that is,
Oh wait,
right?
yeah. Hold on. I didn't.
You can't see that,
I
right?
mean,
I ain't really see it. I mean,
it's the main dude, the main antagonist.
if
But
anything,
not really. It wasn't really bad. I mean, it was warrior stuff. I didn't. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, how you say what is this toxic
it wasn't against.
masculinity bullshit they're
It
talking? You know
wasn't
what I mean?
against. It
Like,
wasn't against a female.
mm-hmm.
Oh
you know what I
no!
mean?
Wait, no! It was. It was. All right, at the beginning, this is check. It wasn't. I mean, I ain't gonna say it wasn't bad, but they do check some of these boxes. All right, this right here. The beginning, where the main daughter got slapped, and the father just sat there like it was nothing wrong, and he was like, "You talking back?" Remember, he was trying to sell the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was some, you know,
Some toxic
pure,
shit.
You
pure
think
woman.
that was
Pure,
toxic masculinity?
it was. I mean, what would be toxic masculinity called? What
Well,
would be
see,
defined?
that's yo. So here's my
But
issue, right?
he said that because he was a man. He was like, "I'm a man, you're the woman. You gotta respect like like that was
It's
the
like,
You
like
gonna do
yo,
whatever I
talk back.
say.
what
Yeah.
as my wife, you're going to learn to obey this, and this is what he says.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing, right?
He said because he's a man, I guess. So
Yo,
that would consider masculinity.
here's my issue.
I slap bitches.
Yo, I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that, right? You know. I say, yo, my character makes his introduction in the film. My love. You know what I'm saying? Yo, so look, we have to be careful of ascribing, right? Criticisms based on modern Western ideologies and perspectives to traditional cultures that have traditional value systems, that have traditional you know, what you call gender roles, right? We have to be careful trying to assign our shit, put it off on them, right? And like, okay, saying that's toxic masculinity. First and foremost, this place here is trying to create a blur in the whole shit. What is masculine? What is feminine? What is a man? What is a woman? Right? Now they got this shit cis woman, and you know what I'm saying, and all this other dumb shit that they're doing. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know, like all of this, this you know, Peter Pan Neverland bullshit, right? So, yo, like, you're dealing with a culture, with a continent that has always had strong value system, strong gender roles, right? Well-defined gender roles, rites of passages where you're initiated into manhood and womanhood. You know what I mean? And there are certain things and expectations that are put on you and before you, right? Based on your gender. Because of you being of a certain gender, there's a particular way that you're expected to behave and function, roles that you're supposed to function in and carry out in the society. So, you know, in that, yo, now, in saying that, I'm not saying that just because it's traditional is correct, or because it's African, it's correct. And in no way, shape, or form am I defending the actions of the character in the film, right? But I am saying that there's a problem with trying to call that toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
No. That's a cultural situation there, right? You're coming from a different culture, right? So you don't know about that, right? But if you grew up in the South, right, you might have seen some of that strong gender role in your house, right? Some of us, how you say, some of us, we talking that talk like like you got to be a man, right? You have to be a woman for your father or your husband to or your spouse, right, or parent to slap the shit out of you, right? Like your mother wouldn't slap the shit out of you just as fast.
I got slapped by my mom. Actually,
You know what I mean?
I never got slapped by my dad. I got slapped by my mom.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna punch it.
Yo, Jokers acting like they old lady, right? Meaning they girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their wife, when she get hot, like she wouldn't slap the shit out of you or try to sock you, right? So my thing is we gotta cut the bullshit following behind these crackers with the dumb shit. You know what I mean? And really look at shit for what it is. No, this is an African culture. They got different values, right?
Yeah,
If we got a problem with it, it's because of the perspective that we're coming from. Now besides that though, there's issues that I got. I got issues with the whole, how you say, I have some issues with the whole idea of arranged marriages altogether. It's a traditional thing.
I know people to this day. I went to high school with who happened to be Arabic.
Yeah.
Like after a couple of years after high school. Straight up, like I see both parties. I see my man, Paul, and I'm like, oh, man, how you get that? Like, hey, my mom's. I'm like, hey, come on. Like, but what? Like, what do you mean? What? Like, my mom know her mom.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's today, but they said like, yeah.
Yeah. I got.
You can't be.
Yeah. You can't do it because it was a good thing in this case. It was a good thing in this case. He was happy with the decision that was made for him. Oh shit. Oh, okay. Yo.
She probably, but financially, but
yeah.
High school.
Yo, I mean, like it's the same. The whole idea that viewing people as property, right? That's an issue. You know what I mean? That's an issue,
but
right?
Is it property or more like a family trait? Like you don't. My thing with arranged marriage, I'm not. Well, it depends how marriage is arranged. I'm not against arranged marriage 100%, but like it's close. It seems like it's a family thing. So as long as the people together are being treated okay, right? Like we can have some good equal rights. But what if it's like this? He's like, what if you're trading? You said, well, I guess you are giving a person away, but like, what if like the family gets this and not gonna get that? But then they go on, but they're still treated.
So you prefer the use of the term currency instead? Treating people like currency? You prefer that?
No. Like this. Let's say like this. Bring us some hip hop shit. Say, and people do this in business too, like different sort of business. Say Jay-Z's daughter marries like Dr. Dre's son, right? They're gonna, or even certain, I think, kingdoms would do it too. Where like that connect, that marriage.
Yeah, it's to solidify a relationship between the kingdoms
Yes.
and whatnot. Yeah, I understand it very well.
Wait,
I got a problem with it.
what would that? That would still be. It's not trading. It's like
Here's my issue. I don't have a
Commanding
problem.
curses.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it if it allows room for the individuals, right? The children involved, right?
oh
To
yeah yeah
to
yeah 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 yeah.
exercise their own will. Like, like
Yes.
today, your mother might set you up with,
Influence, but not
yo,
force.
right. You understand what I'm saying? Yo,
Like
there's a
he wanted. Yeah yeah yeah
nice young lady over here. It's a nice young man over here. I want you to meet you. I want you to meet my son. I want you to meet my daughter. Right? You know what I mean? And you set up the meeting, this and the third, and then you get the hell out of the way. You know what I mean? And
yeah. No.
let them make their decision. You know what I mean?
And then you sit back and trade with them.
If something goes, if it, you know what I'm saying? If it gets there, right?
If it gets there,
Then
but
y'all
you
can
know
talk
what?
shop. Then y'all can talk shop. But to say, oh, you marrying him because I need them fucking rims, right? No, that's a goddamn problem. You know what I mean? It don't
But
matter who he
in the
is.
film, they didn't do it, but she she was like no. So they didn't technically. So it kind of was more of an influence thing.
Well, no. It just because she wasn't going, right? She wasn't going, and she smacked the dude or pushed the dude back, like like she wasn't going, and she wasn't gonna be like so submissive to the point where she was gonna let this dude run over. And the father was looking to gain something from that because the man was well off. You know what I mean?
And he was a stepdad. No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't a real father.
He was a father.
Yeah, he wasn't a real father. He wasn't a real father. And that could have been. That's also something to take into consideration when looking at that, because maybe if it,
He was his. Yeah, he wasn't
yeah,
trying to
you know what I'm
kiss
saying,
that.
if it was his actual daughter, maybe he wouldn't have been so hard with that. You know what I'm saying?
They got a lot of good details in this film
It's a
that
lot, bro.
they
It's a lot.
they did very well. It wasn't just like a cheap idea. Like even that right there, we're talking about that. Like to have that those pieces connect. Like damn, it wasn't his real daughter, so that's why he probably was like go with it. Like
Mm-hmm.
he didn't even care. He was like just go like so. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
real.
yeah,
That was real.
yeah, yeah.
All
What was
right,
his? How you say, boys? What was boys' other point? So it was the liberal
masculinity,
left
the
shit.
white liberal, the gay, it was all kinds of
Yeah.
Oh, yo, the male, and how you say the white folk. Okay, so
Oh
that's
yeah, the white folk
bullshit.
wanted the enemy. White folk wanted the
That's
enemy.
bullshit. That's bullshit, right? Because
They were
first
the
and
enemy.
foremost,
They were the enemy.
They were, but they weren't, but they were.
Yeah, it was
yo,
like they were. Yeah, let's see this talk real quick about that part. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
they were, but it was like it was breaking. In your view, break it down as far as the white enemy versus the black. What did you see?
I seen for what I seen from that point of view more so. I seen that the enemy was our own people giving us up to the people. It's like they clearly didn't have the physical traits to come and conquer us themselves. So they was like, let's get somebody bigger, better, yet alone their own, and they could do it. You know what I'm saying? And then bribe them with God knows what, food, water. It doesn't any essential that they need. They probably sold them with and said, "Hey, bring us this much people, and you'll be able to live freely. Or you'll be able to do whatever you may be able to do." But I don't think that I do think that they are the enemy in a way for putting the seed, planting the seed. But at the same time, our own people allowed it to grow and allowed the plan to come to light and be successful with conquering, dividing, and doing all types of stuff to just get us aboard them ships. So just looking at it is like you got women throwing the first punches when once they feel the energy is not right, type stuff. So you got women not letting the money and the riches infiltrate their mind and their mindset, and they already know that family is unity, and that's, you know, us being one is the most important thing. So I just see it as more so, yeah, you could call the white man the enemy, but there's the person who did execute the plan. So I would definitely go with our own kind being that we are our own enemies, you know.
Let me touch on that a little bit before Benu gives a professional, like whatever I miss, he'll break it down. So one of the things that white people did that was I guess you could say greater, was they created the concept of being white, right? So even on this film, they kind of they do touch on a more Pan African type of view, at least for that kingdom. Africa didn't see themselves as one Africa. It was like their nation, their ethnic nation. Just like if you bring it to a microcosm, like Native America, right? What they call Native America. They didn't look at like they didn't. Everybody here wasn't like, hey, we're all Indian, right? No, we're all not like no. They're different nations, right? Like South Africa is in South Africa. It's Zulu, is Costa, it's Nigeria is in Nigeria. Those are European concepts. So the way you're saying, you're like we're one people and the white man split us up, divided us. It was no connection. Like they weren't. Even though we're looking at the black lens, like, hey, we're all black. What's the problem? They didn't have that yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like even where we're right now, Kemet is one piece of the area. You know what I'm saying? Right next to it, we got Kush. Right next to it, we got like it's not after like I don't know. They don't compare on that. I don't even know. They didn't step back and draw the whole map of Africa and say this is us. They have they're small nation group of people. So that group that they focus on in the movie scene, that was them.
Okay.
That was their quote unquote race of people. Like once they took that blood oath and or whatever, and they was in that family, that's who their people are. You know what I'm saying? And this goes on even in the 90s when we had the Rwanda situation where we look at them, yeah, black people killing black people because of like they like I'm Tutsi, I'm this, I'm that, and so it was easy for a collective of white people to work the system together and
infiltrate that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there was no, they didn't divide, but there was no together. We're trying to get it together now, like African Union, and we're still trying to do this band together thing. White people did that, and I'm assuming after they went through their hardships, where they was attacking each other, I guess in Europe and the quote unquote dark ages, they looked around and said, we gotta get together and go out and go conquer people to get what we want, whatever. But so Brandon can break that in a little more detail further.
No, I say I think you did great with that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, even better. Okay.
Yeah, nah. You know, I think the one thing that was key, right, in this film was the guns, right? You know, because that's the dividing factor or the determining factor in most of these instances. They come in and they see these African kingdoms at war with each other, right? And they say, well, whichever one, we can't get to submit to our will, we'll give the other one the guns.
They're playing both.
You see what I'm saying?
That's some natural day shit, like some Crip and Blood shit. You feel me?
You know what I mean?
Everything.
Like the police, Crip and Blood, right? And you got this Crip, this blood, all different sets, right? But guess what? The white police don't care about the Crip and Blood. They're gonna arrest everybody.
You know what I mean? You know, and I like that. I like that about the film because once the seed had been planted, she told him like, yo, we don't need to be selling our people. And she's like, yo, even if they aren't Dahomey, they're our people, right? Once she said that, and she's like, yo, we can sell palm oil, we can do XYZ to bring prosperity. Once he started to listen to that, and he expressed to the European in the film that now we about to get out of this, and he's like, yo, if you get out of it, you won't be protected anymore. And he told him straight up, like, he's like, I am completely aware of the fact that you don't see our people, right? You see our people just like every other African as nothing more than a commodity, right? You know what I mean? You see us as a commodity, right? So guess what this means for you? You are also no longer protected. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that shit because, it made it intelligent, right? It made it, they portrayed him as very intelligent. They portrayed him as a thinking king. And there's a consciousness there. And as far as the guns and whatnot is concerned and playing kingdoms against each other, on the point, slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, right? And this tribalism, if you will, right? Is the main antagonist in the film. You know what I mean? The European slave trade and the European slave traders, right, are the main antagonists in the film. Oyo, right? The kingdom of Oyo and the kingdom of Dahomey were at war with each other.
And that's known.
That's known, right?
People go to like neighboring people have issues. That's nothing. Like everybody, that's cool. That's normal. That's a human thing to do. People,
you know what I mean?
Neighboring people have issues, but that system you're talking about to come in, that's something different.
That's you know what I mean? And in the film, they show that the Oba in the film is more of an antagonist to Viola Davis, right, character. But the movie and what's happening in the film is not about Viola Davis. It's about an idea that's being pushed. You know what I mean? The whole point of this film is the promotion of this sense of liberation for all parties involved that need to be liberated. This is what the film is about. And I say that Boyce Watkins is looking at it from a very Eurocentric, point of view, in the sense where you focusing and honing in on some individual shit, right? Making the main antagonist in the film is a brother. No, he's not the main antagonist in the film. It's a system that's in place. It's a foreign system. It's a foreign European occupation that's been set up on the coast of West Africa. A trade, a fucking auction block that's been set up, right? And the film ends with these sisters and brothers that was fighting with the sisters burning the shit down. That's where the victory comes into play in the film. You know what I'm saying? But we missed the whole greater picture, focusing on the narrative because, we feeling insecure with our little dinglings and shit.
Let me change my earpiece.
You know what I mean?
There we go. I'm here. All right. What's up, people? Welcome back to Saga City, where we talk historical fiction and repatriation in Africa. Check out the free episodes of our books in the description below. All right, next question. Are black men being too sensitive in this film?
Yo, you heard what I just said?
Are we being too sensitive? Because the females. And no, one thing. All right, this one thing you pointed out too before I seen the film. I was thinking maybe okay, that maybe some gender issue, whatever. And they're focusing on certain sides, but it wasn't. What do you call it? It wasn't just like an all woman group of. The way people made it seem like it was a group of females who happened to birth themselves and they killed men. Like that's what I was hearing, right? They had a female. They had, I guess, when I'm assuming, you have a small kingdom. Like the oil kingdom was 2 or 3 times larger than them. So they probably needed more troops, right? So they got creative or whatever. But they had a male side of men fighting, and they had a female side. And that time they came together, whatever. But they had it wasn't just like I thought it was like a row of females who were just killing men because they hated men, kind of. And it wasn't like that. So yeah, that was a good perspective. But yeah, I think I guess we're just being too sensitive with maybe not seeing used to seeing female this way, I guess. Or like what do you think that's from? Where do you think it's coming from like that?
Yo, Capo, you want to deal with that?
Nah, my shit just broke up. I got you. Say it one more time.
So what do you think the backlash or hate is coming from? I guess a lot of men who are feeling away about the movie with the film. Where do you think their issues coming from?
Probably themselves, insecurity. I don't really think it's really too much. I can't put myself in the feelings inside of the film and be like, nah, this is the way this should be, and this definition. It might not even be insecurity, but it's just the way that people are not even taught, but the way they just process and learn things. They take themselves and they attach themselves to the feelings, the words, whatever the case may be. I feel like people really just jump into stuff without how could I word it? People really see something and they hear the topic and then they glue themselves to it and be like, nah, a man shouldn't be treated this way. A man shouldn't be bowing down to a woman, or a woman shouldn't be stronger than a man. All types of politics and stuff. So I think that if anywhere it comes within, it's not nowhere else. It's not on the internet. It's somebody that's looking for something to be glued to. That's what I think.
Banu, he's like, I already said it.
Yeah, yo, I say it's real dingaling energy. You know what I'm saying? It's small dick energy. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like jokers is insecure. They feel like, damn, I already have a hard time controlling my woman and this, that, and the third. And here come a film. They say, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. They finna put a battery in the back. I ain't gonna be able to do That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing is that ain't what this is.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. That's, you know what I mean? I watched this with my wife. You know what I'm saying? My wife and I have been together, you know what I'm saying? We've been married like 13 years. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to take her to see it, and she was up past her bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Watching the joint, and had no regrets. She loved every second of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for the violence in the film, I take my daughters to go see it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Your daughters gotta be a little. You gotta be a little older. What is it? PG-13?
Yeah, it's PG-13.
Okay, yeah, about 13. Yeah.
Yeah, it's PG-13, right? I you know what I mean? But
high school.
Besides that, I thought that definitely a lot of the fears and whatnot is definitely unwarranted. But at the same time, you're dealing with highly weird, so I get the paranoia and suspicion as well. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I can't say that I don't understand why the hesitation and the side eye, right? But you know, at the same time, we do have to ask ourselves, is if we go on a little extra, right? Right? Because these jokers out here is extra with the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jokers is extra, read all about it with the shit and ain't seen it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, where's that coming from? And it's coming from a state of space of fear and insecurity because we have a hard time relating with our women. You know what I'm saying? We have a hard time relating and harmonizing with our women, and you know, it's you know, it's a lot of pain in there. It's a lot of pain in there, right? And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of pain in there. Like, you know, I like what Viola Davis said on The View, right? When they were interviewing her and she was talking about, she made a point to talk about how you have a cast that's predominantly dark-skinned female, right? Dark-skinned black women, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that was dope because you know these aren't the sisters that's getting chosen for the music
Oh, yeah.
videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the you know video vixens and shit like that. Like these aren't the sisters that you know brothers have been conditioned to look at and say, oh, she's beautiful, oh, she's dope, right? You know what I'm saying? With the strong African phenotype, the strong African features, and you know the muscular build. It's like, yo, we don't like big muscles unless it's her ass. You know what I'm saying? We don't want her to have muscles unless it's her ass. Is that what we said? We want everything else monotonous and what? Yo, like it's you know, it's I thought it was dope the way that they did it, and it's a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Right? It's a lot of there's medicine that can come from that movie, from sisters seeing themselves
Oh
in
no,
that
I
light.
agree.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
You know, and it was, I thought they was fine. I mean, even the like the you know the sister that was that died at the
Yeah.
end of the joint, right? Yo, I thought she was dope. Like, yo,
Yeah,
every
character, everything.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everybody, yo, you grew up with the Tom girl or the Tom boy. You know what I'm saying? The girl was a tomboy. She, you know, she was hanging around with the boys and this, that, and the third. But she ain't necessarily, you know, lesbian or no shit like that.
No, cool. I grew up playing basketball, and
You know
there
what
was
I'm
a
saying?
girls' basketball team. Now, there are a lot of girls in basketball
Yeah.
but there are also a lot of girls who aren't. They just
You know what I
play
mean?
ball, like, and the Jordans on and the Ola shorts, and they girly. Like I like
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what I mean? If
Now
you play sports,
when they get
if
to
you
the WNBA, something changed. They turn different. I don't know. Somebody could say
that's
hi.
a culture. That's a culture up in there. When you
Say
get up
hi,
in there, that's
bro.
a culture.
When you
Yeah.
get to the WNBA, yeah, they
Yeah. Yeah, that's a culture. You know what I mean?
but
But
everything else though.
yo, look at
Oh,
Serena.
oh no, Serena beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, sister was pretty much built like Serena in the joint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought she was dope. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was
It's
dope that they
athletic,
had him
right?
in there.
It's their athletic. Every Olympic female or whatever,
Yeah,
like track and field or
yeah.
what's the girl the discus joint the black number one girl. This is I forget her name.
What you throw? Shot put?
She threw the ball.
Shot put. Yeah.
I actually bought a t-shirt from her. She got banned. She lost like a deal for putting her fist up. and they all these brands stopped her. And I bought some shirts. You know what I'm saying? It says athlete. There's I think it's scratched out. It says activist. And
Whew.
but she's like, she made it to the Olympics, whatever. But she lost a lot of sponsorship because when she went there, look, I think she put her head down or something. She basically was like F America. You know what I'm saying? Like she had the fist or she put her head down. Well, she
Yeah,
won. She did something.
The Tommy Lee joint.
She did something. Yeah, they ain't feel it. But
Yeah,
yeah. So and she's a picture of her. But she's beautiful. She's beautiful.
yeah. I think that is, man. We gotta heal as a people, bro. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And like there's a lot of pain that you know on that's on both sides, right? As far as with the black man and with the black woman, you know, there's a lot of pain that's between black people and the continent. You know what I mean? Like even when they come here, right? And they meet shit from us sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We go over there and we get treated. You know what I mean? Like dollar signs, walking dollar signs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like you know, it's like there's some healing that got to take place,
Mm-hmm.
and a film like this,
Yeah.
even with Black Panther, it did a good job in kind of sparking it, making Africa, fly,
Yeah.
making Africa look like that's what we come from.
Yeah, you started seeing Wild Black Panther stuff after. As soon as Black Panther came out, they had 1,001 products. That joint is
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
to even but to just to agree with what you're saying, I think more so it starts with us, us young men and us boys and us men, because I feel like we are put in a position to lead, but also if you don't have the right male leadership around you, I've seen us boys be very vulnerable to make decisions that don't fit us. You know what I'm saying? And we're watching this movie. I've seen that people thought more with their, well, not even people, but the women thought more with their minds and not their feelings. But in today's day and age, I feel like it's the opposite way. Females think with their feelings nowadays, and they don't really think with their mind. And some of
mm,
us men too, who's leading, we not thinking with the mind, we thinking with the feelings. So, I just think that definitely what you're saying is true. And sometimes it is better to not think with your feelings, because if you
yeah,
think with your feelings, it's gonna get you in a whole another place you could have never imagined.
I think
yeah,
females
yeah,
are more naturally emotional, and men are more naturally logical. And
Yeah.
I think that's why we need that balance. A little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I do like that they made the king strategic person.
yeah. Level headed,
They showed
level
him,
headed.
they showed him thinking. He'll be like, hold on, let me see. Like he was like and it shows you as I guess what a king's supposed to do, right?
Yeah,
That's a quality, and that as an example, because when I look at films like this, especially like based in like Africa stuff, I always place myself in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I gonna do with my family? You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the way he handled situations. He was a smaller kingdom, beefing with neighboring people, monkey wrenching the system, things being cool. He's about his people first, made the best decision. He had internal stuff. This wife want that, that wife want that. He made the best decision. Like she's the one. You know what I'm saying? Even when he was wrong, no, even when he was right, when she was like, "I look, I made a mistake." Yeah, he said he seen the bigger issue was like, "You good?" Like he just like he played like showing that as me as a father.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm about to go. I gotta go talk to my daughter in a little bit. I got things that's going on too, and I'm like that helps me say, okay, all right. As a king, what are you supposed to? Even though you may be right right now, dog. What's the better thing? You know what I'm saying? What's the for the family, for the people? Like, what's the better? So that kind of stuff. So they whoever wrote it. I know the director was the girl from Love and Basketball. Well, you know, they a lot of great. They ain't gonna lie. Well, our story, Daniel. I'm in it like we got step by step up. I was like, I know we got steps to go, but I'm looking at when I watch a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff and Star Wars. I'm like, we can smack them easy. This right here, this the detail, like the way they flip the daughter back into like this. I was like, oh man, that was like it was very
Yeah.
like,
The plot
so many,
twist.
yeah. So I'm like, damn. I was like,
Yeah.
it was so like so many things. It wasn't like simple, a bunch of beautiful visuals and kind of just. It was so many levels. It was like you definitely gotta watch it many times to get some of these things because there's a lot of cultural stuff that we missing that I didn't pick up on.
Yeah, I feel like I missed some stuff.
Yeah. I like the I love the plot twist. I love the casting, right? The sister that plays her daughter in the film, like everything, like her mannerism, way that she was standing, like her shoulders, like way she hold her head. I'm like, yo, they really did that. So it's like, yo, how could this not be like your spawn? Like, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see it at first. I was like, it kind of tripped. I'm like, hold on, are they? I was like, even when the father looked at her, I was like, you look familiar. Like, when you walked by him, he was like, Remember that Jay-Z song? What's that Jay-Z record? Blueprint 2. He was like, niggas be a father, you killing your son. He was telling a story. He was like, old nigga still on the block hustling. Young nigga come. Basically, the old nigga had booty from the chick that he didn't want. And the new nigga on the block, you older, you a little slower now. He's like, he says, what he say? He said, it was a new nigga on the block, but the boy didn't bud. Son face, so he called him young cuz. And he was like, basically, the father killed his own son, didn't know his own son. So he abandoned him from a long time ago. But he said he flipped because he sees his face. He was like you in that scene reminded me of that line where he was like, you're literally selling your daughter. You're about to go sell your daughter. And when he seen her face, he just like it's frozen. He's like, yo, like who? Okay, keep going. All right. Like kind of like shocked him. Like he's like, there's some nature, something just hit him. Like, so little things like that. It was like, wow. Okay, I'm seeing.
Yeah. I appreciated the depiction of the spirituality, right? The spiritual tradition in it. I like the way they did it. I like
that's what the great thing about art movies.
Yeah.
Even I'm watching the music, not to cut you off, but all the people like, oh, I want to go work out now. I want to go do that. I want to go blah blah blah, right? That scene when you go back to my spirituality, when I seen the altar, and so I was like, oh, I need to like it made me think about what is this about? Like, could I have that in my house? Like I've never seen it before. See what I'm saying? So when you see it, and then now you're like, it really do something after you see that. It's more that seeing something makes you believe that. I guess cliche. So
yeah.
You're saying for us.
Yeah. Well, I like the way they portrayed it. I liked even the dialectic that was present in terms of Viola Davis' character being like a warrior, and oftentimes, saying like warriors, revolutionaries, they don't want to hear nothing about none of that. They don't necessarily believe in it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because what they do is so physical. They're so used to getting results through direct hands-on action, right? Change is something that you affect with your hands, right? Um, you know, that's kind of that's a perspective that she represented in it. And then you had the sister that was kind of like the priestess, which was her advisor, right?
Oh,
That was coming to her, interpreting her dreams. And she went to the Fa, right? Went to the Ifa Oracle. And the fact that they had the Fa in it, right? The fact that they had the Fa in the joint, because it's something,
what do you mean?
the divination system, Ifa, right? When she was throwing the shells and then she was interpreting the
Yeah.
dream and telling
Oh,
her,
okay.
yeah, that's the actual divination system that is prevalent throughout West Africa. It's in Dahomey, it's in Nigeria with the Yoruba, the Igbo. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, they all use that divination system, whether they call it E5 or just Fi or I5. It's the same system, right?
Okay. Okay.
So they portrayed that in there by the name, right? And then the sister breaks it down for her, and she's like, "Oh, I don't hear this, so vague, this, that, and third. She don't hear it." And then the shit hit. Then it like it hit. Like, yo,
Yeah, they kept it.
finally your shells got it right. Like, oh
Got it.
shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Yo, I love that. I love that they portrayed African spirituality as a real thing.
Not stupid.
You know what I'm saying? In the film, something that um for a lot of practitioners, it validates and verifies itself for us in real time.
Yeah.
Like that. You
Great
know what I'm
art.
saying? Like they portrayed it. So that was dope. I like the shrines and the altars. I like the sacrifices and the blood oaths and the point. Ending the film with libations to the warriors that died. Like, yo, my sisters, live for us like we live for you, right? Stand like, yo, I'm like, whoo, they really went in. And even like the personable, like, for instance, and this ain't to diss nobody, but you go to church and you go to the altar, right? You sit on, you drink your juice or your wine and you eat your crackers, and you praying to someone that you never met, right? And you putting money in the tray and this, that, and the third, and you hoping that, what I'm saying, that like, yo, this is enough to get you where you trying to go, right? You know what I'm saying? But in the joint,
Just like
Yeah,
you know
facts.
what I'm saying? In the joint, yo, she comes, a girl is in there, about to pour libations, water for the sister that
you
died.
don't want that.
Yeah, she don't want that water. She wants that. Like, this is what she wants. Boom.
The
Like,
same thing. Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's that person. It's personable, because we give our ancestors what we know they liked.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, I got an uncle that transitioned, and about 2-3 years ago he passed, and after he passed, I had a dream with him, and it was a big ass bottle of absolute vodka, right? And he's showing it to me. So I asked my mother, like, yo, did Uncle Edward, he like to drink vodka? And she's like, yeah, he's like, he had a big ass joint in his house. Like, when and I was like, yo, I think he want me to go. I went to the store immediately and bought him a big bottle of Absolute. Put it on the ancestor shrine for him. You know
Wow.
what I mean? You know, my grandfather, he like Johnny Walker whiskey, right? I went and got Johnny, like, you know, like you give them what they like. You know, it's a practice for me, like my maternal grandmother. She loved like greens, right? Collards and turnips and mustards. So I get like the trio of that and get the roots, and you know we cook that up for her. And she loves 7 Up. So I buy a 7 Up,
Where do you
and
find 7 Up at?
yeah,
No, that shit's
right.
still around.
Yeah, it's still out.
You
It's still
gotta go into the
yo.
right deli.
Yeah, 7 Up.
Yeah, she loves 7 Up. You know, I went and get her 7 Up and hot water cornbread. You know what hot water cornbread is?
Jiffy.
Oh shit. No. so so hot water cornbread is basically like you take the cornbread and you fry it like a pancake.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? You
I
fry it
love
in the
pancakes.
oil like a pancake.
Oh, snap. You about to put some. Oh, hold on. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, right? So
I
yeah,
haven't
it's
tried that.
yeah, it's hot. They call it hot water cornbread, but the hot water is the grease, it's the oil, right? So you know, you fry it on the skin. So she loved this is what she liked. So on her birthday, this is what we make for her. And you know, it's that kind of it's personable. Cause it's like, yo, you calling out to something. We done been taught to call out to something, right? Or call out to someone that we don't know, but we hope they give a shit about us, right?
Yeah.
When you got your actual people
Ooh.
that as black folk, they be popping up on us in dreams, right? We be seeing them and hearing them and smelling them and all this shit, and we get spooked, right? And you know, is we know that they cared about us.
We call them ghosts.
We call them ghosts,
But the
and
white person you never met,
you know what I'm saying?
you call him his favorite.
Yeah, he's God.
He call him God.
Your
Yeah.
grandmother's a ghost,
But
but this
white-
cracker over here that you never met is God.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
That right there is something that we gotta heal from, because I promise you.
Like, I was watching Ghostbusters the last week. It's a good movie. But this
Yeah.
whole Halloween thing, like, I saw my youngest daughter, I'm like, and she's asking about like skeletons and stuff, whatever. But like, what did I said? Black people have ancestors. So we have ancestors. We don't have ghosts. You know what I'm saying? Like, the white people have ghosts. We got ancestors. We never do like some of us play around with Halloween, cool, but we have ancestors. That's an ancestor. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like we play that game without even realizing how negative it is for us. Same thing like people grew up playing Cowboys and Indians. Like, you didn't think that when you were a kid, but when you get older, it's like, you gotta cut that out. This is we're not chasing around. Why?
Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, you Cowboys and Indians. Like,
Ain't no Cowboys in New York.
Yeah, you over here chasing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you the cowboy, nigga, they're the cowboy. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, that's real. Yo, that's what I really love about the film. You know what I mean? I love that they really portrayed to the best of their ability authentic culture in it. You know? Yeah, I thought it was fire.
Let's watch another clip. Bring up. Get your view on this right here. You see the Chrome tab. Idolatry. What does that mean?
Idolatry?
Idolatry. There we go. What is? Let's see. What does that mean?
What is it? You want me to say what it is?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what is that?
Okay, so idolatry is something that comes out of Western Judeo-Christian or Abrahamic religious worldview. It's basically the way that they define, or one of the ways that they define any religious or spiritual practice or custom.
Oh, idol.
Yeah, idol worship,
Ideology.
right? Idol worship, right? So like when they see the statues of our ancestors and statues of our deities or forces of nature that we venerated and honored and whatnot, they call that idolatry.
That's crazy.
You see what I'm saying? But that cross ain't idolatry though.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't like
That Kaaba, right? That Kaaba that they turn and face in the morning or 5 times a day, right? To pray to ain't idolatry though. But if it's African, it's idolatry.
Mm.
See, that's the mind fuck.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. This is another female. I was going through the internet. And I'm seeing this for watch the film, and I was like, "Where's this?" We had the man perspective. Let's see what she's talking about.
Hollywood just does a bad job at portraying Black history, African history, and slave trade history. This newest movie that came out, The Woman King, which is doing well in the box office and is going to obviously be another Black idolatry movie, is false. The main character is fictional. The movie downplays their huge role in the slave trade. In fact, it was their main source of riches, the Dahomey tribe. They even fabricated a scene where the woman king was saying that they should stop using slavery as their main source of income and go to palm oil. Totally made up. Not only were they heavily involved in the slave trade, they also killed slaves in memory of their kings, like this one where they killed 800 slaves when King Gezo died. And when the British outlawed the transatlantic slave trade, they continued to work with the Portuguese and the Spanish to enslave other Africans. Don't get your history from Hollywood. Hollywood just does a bad job at portraying.
Yeah.
He going in.
That was you two shorts.
That's how you say that's exactly what I was visualizing when I was listening to her talking. I was watching her sucking jive for them. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you know what I mean? How you say, y'all can deal with that. Y'all deal with that first, because I got something to say about it.
Okay. What do you know about that? See that? As far as the young lady was saying, false and it was just capping.
Um.
I mean, from your perspective, from what you know or don't know.
From what I know, I don't want to say that it's all the way false, because I do believe that women used to be of a high empowerment before. I think it was taken away from them. But with her saying that it was a lot of rambling. It's kind of hard to believe it without her just relating to Hollywood and just I know they do a lot of foul things, and they may mislead and not lead in the right way or teach in the right way. But I think that there were some facts and some true points inside of the movie, but not everything is all the way 100% facts. So I'll give it a 50-50 with it, but definitely think that that short that she did was waste of time, because she was more on a factual false type of side. She wasn't trying to even give one green light of believing anything. So
Mhm.
You do have a career license for the film. I asked Benny about this before with I mean, I think people are taking partial true points and kind of just stretching it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure why they're going so hard. Because once you do see the film, like, to be perfectly honest, a lot of the things that I'm pulling up and that I heard issues about, I do see like the seed of it in the movie, but I don't see it expressed as the way they're saying it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit here and say 100% it's not there, 100% it's not that in the whatever. But it's not like oh, it's Turk machine joint. All right, we just but he wasn't the way he made it sound like he was doing all that twerking in the first, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not what that was. And then the art, I'm an artist and enthusiast, so I'm like, what are they doing with the art? What are they? So I'm looking at the behind, like when he broke that situation down, I said, oh, that was slick. So I'm seeing a little bit behind, like not just for what face value what it is. So there's always a narrative in art. So it's like, what's the intentions behind it? That's what I'm real big at. So to me, the intentions are great. So even on, like that, even on the far side where you said maybe they weren't the number one Pan African tribe, not only say tribe, but community of people. Maybe they weren't, but in the film they do certain things to kind of pull that together. But that's the message that the director's trying to point to. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say that they weren't, or maybe didn't have that thought. Maybe it wasn't expressed or out that 100% like that. But like nobody's 100% not right. It's in one thing. So you could say like, oh, maybe he did, but they just focus on that more. Even with the female warrior class, like they didn't like the way when I was getting that information, it felt like they only had female warriors. But no, they're just focusing on they're just focusing on that group. That's not the whole thing? Like that's this movie is focusing on them. Give them a shine, give them a shine. That's all it is. It's not saying they didn't have men fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it looked like it sounded like it though when the movie when they promoted it. Like that's at least when I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against. Cause like if it is what it is. Oh, one more thing. You close to my age, man. You ever watch Dinner Warrior Prison?
Yeah.
Yo, after church, that was Sunday. Xenomorph was Hercules. He had no muscles. Kevin Zerbo, whatever his name.
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo.
This nigga had back in the day they got away with a lot. Let me just say this right here.
Ain't nobody was educated enough.
Hell no. Hercules, Kevin Sorbo. We shared this dude. Let me get some pictures real quick. You son. Oh man. And that wipe me down. Here you go. Look at Hercules. Let's see. This is Hercules. This nigga that got no muscles, nigga. I can't really see. Yeah. Oh, I'm about to.
He ain't got no muscles.
No muscles.
He like Walker, Texas Ranger.
Word. So yeah. All right, excellent. So after that, they would play. All right, they would play. Demon Words. And I think she was Amazon woman, whatever.
Yeah, she was supposed to be like Amazonian or something like that.
And they always think is white chick from Europe, whatever. And one thing I remember, she would have this warrior. Before she would attack, she would go like she would put on the rope. Since I heard Amazon before, and I watched this movie, I'm hearing, oh, Amazonian. Okay. That's what Wonder Woman. Everybody's thinking he's real human, these real African people swag and sauce and make it their thing. And then I heard about the Amazon movie. Okay, cool. Not cool, but got that part. Then they start fighting and dancing and doing their thing. I hear, I said, hold on. You mean to tell me you made a whole fictional character, this chick got a whole career, and made him white?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, that is something that African women throughout the continent.
But if you seen Xena, what that was her.
Yes,
If you
that
see
was
her
her
on
thing. That was her
the screen right
signature.
now, people will probably go, like she like
That's who she
that's,
is.
that's what she do.
Yeah.
That's her thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
not
the
her
Xena.
thing.
Yeah, it's not her thing at all. It's not her
He said
thing
it's
at
not her
all.
thing at all.
It's not her thing at all. You know what I mean?
She don't got the
Like,
copyrights.
you know what I mean? Like literally, no matter where you go in the continent of Africa to this very day, you're gonna
So
hear
and they
women
knew
doing that.
that, and they
Yeah,
knew it was.
yeah.
I mean, they know it all. Keeping it from us.
I'm
Yo,
thinking they made that thing up. Like they just out there. Like, yeah. I'm like, that's a
yo,
Xena. That's a
go
white
to
chick Xena. That's Xena.
even in Kemet. You today you go to Kemet and you see a wedding from Cairo all the way down to Aswan. You're gonna
Yeah,
hear women in the procession of that wedding doing that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yo.
you're gonna hear that.
that's crazy.
And Xena, at least as far as the TV show, she was she was basically she lived where Hercules was at because they were
Mm-hmm.
supposed to die sometime. And
Mm-hmm.
Hercules was Greek. He was in Greece. What was he? What was his
Yeah, Hercules is supposed to be Greek.
Greece on that? At least,
Uh-huh.
I mean, that name is Greek, but I guess they was in Greece. I guess, right? I guess
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah,
Now, West Africa.
yeah, yeah. I say Hercules, right? Hercules, right?
Peru.
Is actually taken from there's a deity called Harishoef in Kemet.
Oh, I thought it was Hercules. I thought it was from
Well,
like
is
Peru,
actually he's
Horus.
like a form of Heru's. He's like a form of Heru's father, Osir, right? Or a fusion between him and Ra. But the ancient city called Hininsu, right? Which my organization is named after. He's the
Sir.
chief. He's the chief deity of that town, and that's why the Greeks call it Herculeopolis, right, or the city of Hercules, because they associated that deity. You know what I'm saying, with Hercules. That's how
Oh,
Hercules got his identity.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me get this ad out of here. There you go. I'll just play it for you. Hold on. Bring it back. Bring it back. Share screen. Just so you can see what this is right here. Phone tab. It's really random. Are you ready? Check this out.
Xena scream.
This is the warrior princess from Athens, Greece, or whatever. Bro, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't tuning into that.
Yo,
I was watching that.
look at this chick right here. That's Xena. That was me at first. That was me.
Wait, so she thought she was the warrior?
That's the warrior. That's look at her. Look at that. That's the homie. Yep. West Africa. Find it. Look at that. Look at the move. I on the spaceship. I on the spaceship.
Get the fuck out of here.
That was a bad TV show to watch.
Yo, it was super bad. It was super bad.
Yo, get the fuck out of here.
Niggas can't be in the sun for that long.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Nah,
But
man.
yo, when they just scream, I said, I put it together. I said, wait a minute, Amazon Warrior Scoop. I said, oh, they just been taking the sauce. This cat make. They've made tons of millions like off that cheap ass. Whatever. But all right, let's
Yo,
get back into it. But
why did the sister use the phrase black idolatry? This,
ooh,
this is another example of black idolatry. What does she mean
by that,
by that? Where's she coming from?
she's
Right? That she
right.
gotta frame that shit like that.
Maybe she probably hates the concept of believing in not a Jesus.
You know, I didn't when she said it though, I didn't really get.
Pagan, these
Yeah,
multiple.
I didn't get that she was talking religion right there.
Me
Like
neither.
she had.
I thought she was talking about 'cause when I first I thought they had something similar with Peter Nyong'o, and I thought it was more like a woman leading thing or something, some kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, she talking like idolizing blackness. This is kind of what I'm getting. Like she got a problem with films idolizing blackness. Like, yo, where the fuck you coming from?
So we getting this shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, like, how could you have all these films,
Mm-hmm.
right, portraying our ratchetness and wretchedness and trauma, and you got a problem with films that idolize blackness?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's hard not to think that she got a battery in her, not that she doesn't have a battery in her back in the form of a check, right?
I don't even know if it was a check. I just think it's about fitting in.
With who? That's crazy. I know who, but goddamn, this is where we at. Like Aunt Ruckus. You know what I'm saying? We on some Auntie Ruckus shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They really mad because the white boy got drowned by the Africans in Obama. Freed the brothers, right? Cut the rope, freed the brothers, gave them the keys, and when they got loose, they drowned the crack in the water. This is why these Negroes mad.
That was a good one. I like they was like, but I like that. I like that they did that, but like as soon as they got loose, they was like, yeah, get him. It's like get him.
Yeah,
But
you know what I'm saying?
The other brother, it was like, you can't go.
He said, "You can't stay with us." He said, "You gotta go. You gotta get out of here."
Yeah.
I felt bad. I was like, damn, they can't let the guy. The light.
He said, "You gotta go."
All he had to do is shave his head a little bit, and
that nigga was done. He was too healthy. It was a lot of things.
Shave it. All you gotta do is shave your head.
He was too physically fit.
Like the locks gonna confuse you. Shave it low, right? Hit him. What Kaepernick was doing? He would act like he got afro. He got to do something. Yeah, if he get the cornrows, but they wouldn't. Yeah, you can't have that. You can't have it like that. You shave it low, you probably get away. You probably look at you like you get away with it.
Yo, the sister was mad at the way they portrayed Benin. But here's the issue. Were we mad with Benin and Dahomey before the film?
No.
Right? And why you mad at Dahomey, but you not, you wasn't mad at Oyo. You point, or the Yoruba. I say when the Yoruba is the fastest growing spiritual system amongst African Americans.
Did they say that in the film? Did they say Ogun or something?
Well, yeah, they. How you say? They.
I don't know what she said. Something happened. I don't know. Somebody died or she gave him. They said
Oh
this
yeah,
is so.
she gave him. She gave him a little figurine of Ogun. That's
So
right.
she said alone.
She did say that, right?
I like that,
So.
and I like that the dude was Brazilian. They use the Portuguese, right? And this one thing I want us to do with our work. I got from Beyonce, um, the diaspora connection. But
Mhm.
when I had my book, I got my publishing deal. The white publishers was telling me, "Oh, we're gonna translate it into German. We're gonna translate it. We could probably get another check and do a translation to this language." And I'm going along. This is why I think sometimes our things don't work in their system because they're making this thing that's for black culture, trying to fit what they do. And I'm like, I got from Beyonce did Black Hispanic.
Mhm.
Brazil, outside of Nigeria, is the largest group of black people on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by them doing that, having representation in the film, and I looked up on the box office, they made it only showed America and Brazil their release, but I guess that representation and to me it would be smart if they translated the film in Portuguese.
Mhm.
One, they let the Portuguese be Portuguese. They kept the Portuguese. So that'd be smart if they. So that's it, marketing. So what we
Mhm.
do is maybe our books will be translated into Portuguese. Cause we don't even think like that. We're like, what? I ain't Portuguese. Like, you want to reach more black people? It's be Portuguese.
Yeah.
It's over 100 million that identify as black. So that means there's more people who are black who don't identify. You see what I'm saying? On paper,
Yeah.
it says over 100 million.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
means there are more people who I'm not black, I'm Dominican. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
on that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not black, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yo, we have to expand. We
Portuguese
have
is a
to expand.
big, it'd probably be like the first other than, we doing we're Indians, we're doing that. But I think Portuguese is a big, clearly has to be a big market.
Portuguese, I say Portuguese, French,
French.
English, and Arabic.
Arabic.
Yeah, and French. Like, yo, I just speaking.
Because
Yeah, francophone, right?
yes.
You know what I'm saying? I just got off the phone with the
I
king of
forgot.
voodoo in Benin, in Dahomey.
France, but it's not France. It's
Eh,
it's French country.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And
Yo,
Haiti. No, it's Haiti. That's I guess it's
Haiti, yeah, they speak French and what they call Haitian Creole, yeah. Yeah.
So
So yeah, French, I say French, Portuguese, English, and Arabic. You know what I'm saying? For reaching our folk. You know what I mean?
yeah, there we go. So got that from that. I I'm gonna hit him again with I'm gonna say this every so often. What's up, people? Welcome to Saga City. Yeah, Saga City. We are here to talk historical fiction and repatriation in Africa. Check out the free episodes of our books in the description below. We got new episodes of Saga City. Now, I did hear it was on the Karen Hunter show. She talked about I think they left a part out in the film where I don't know if it's the homies or somebody, another nation. They would do this thing. They would kill people who they captured before they got on the slave ships. They will, I think it was the tribe. I think that's the. They will do this thing. They walk on a tree, forget your ancestors. It's a dance. It was like it was a ritual. I forgot what they call it. So basically, what they're saying is like they found that out. That was kind of frowned upon. Where I'm not sure if it was just the homie or all of them. But before they hit that slave ship, the captain when they would capture the enslaved people to go sell them, they would dance them around a tree, and that would disconnect them from their ancestors. It was like so. It was a ritual. So I guess they wouldn't come back and haunt them or whatever. So they're like, "You go away, don't worry, you will be." It was like it's a documented thing. I'm gonna look at like some person got on this and broke it down in the document. Maybe we can look into it, but they didn't mention that. You know what I'm saying? I guess they I don't know if they did or the audio tribe or who, I don't know which side or they all did it.
Okay.
But you know anything about
Okay.
that?
I mean,
It's a tree. They break around a tree and
you
disconnect.
know, to disconnect them. So this is with their own people that they're selling. Again, like,
Well, not their own people. I think people they own black as a bigger picture, but
well,
you
no, no, I
know,
say what I mean is okay. You have major ports and you got major players in this thing, right? Um, One of the things that I've always understood is that those that as it being a um official government sanctioned institution, right? You know, the people that were participants in it were initiates in the spiritual traditions, right? So here's the issue, right? When it comes to African culture, African spiritual traditions, or traditional African religion, etc., so on, right? This is really a modern day, uh, you know, designation that creates the idea of a false dichotomy that really doesn't exist. And this is this idea that the spiritual practice or the quote unquote religion of these people is a separate thing from their everyday life. So to say that another way, in African traditional culture, there is no separation or distinction between the sacred and the secular, right? Or secular and the sacred. There's no such thing. Everything is sacred, and everything, I say, the spiritual practice, the forces of nature, I say, the things that we do is a part of everything that we do. And if we wanted it to be successful or whatever, it involved, doing rituals, right? It involved working the juju to make sure that the shit pop. So this is how I say, you can't be no more upset with
oh, I
you
got it.
know with them, right, doing rituals to be successful in that than you can with the Wazungu bringing your ass over here on a good ship, Jesus, the grace of God, and the Holy Mary.
Hmm.
The actual names of the slave ships that they
Yeah,
carried your
yeah,
ass over here in
yeah,
1555.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You can't be any mad at Rodrigo Borgia, right?
Cecil Rose.
You know what I'm saying? Commissioning, like the Holy Roman Catholic Church
Yeah,
sanctioning the fucking slave trade.
they pay for it. Yeah, let it go happen. Everything. Yeah.
You know, and the white
King
Protestants,
James.
you know what I'm saying, and Catholics that actually own and beat your ass, right? And whooped our ancestors' ass. You can't be any madder at them, right? But you got a fucking battery in your back because it's black folk, and you hate your fucking
I
self.
think that's where the confusion comes from, though. Same thing, like, look at this, though. People get mad at Diddy, right? But it's contracts, right?
And they love Diddy at the same fucking time.
And we love Diddy, but we don't get mad at Clive Davis. We don't get mad at
You know what I mean?
any of these companies. So one stop people say it's a company. I don't know Sony. Who runs Sony? I don't know, right? Even though Tyrant or whatever. But when it's your own, there's a level of, yo, you're my own. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect it from you. So I think that shocks them. Like, yo, how could you do that to me? I expect the white man to rate me and not give me that. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel that's where it's, you know what I'm saying? So like they know they do that stuff. And they
Yeah.
almost like, okay, I'm gonna say okay, but they probably like, that's what they do. But I don't expect, you know, my uncle.
I think you're right. Right? I
A little
think
bit of
you're
that.
right.
But
Yeah,
like I
and
said,
I think you're right.
we're not speaking out enough about the other stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I think that, and I thought the film did an excellent point in this, right? Because Pan Africanism is not something that existed then,
It
right?
exists. Yeah.
But
It barely exists now.
it barely exists now, right? Niggas want to be foundational Black Americans and fucking African or American descendants of slavery and all this sort of dumb shit, right?
Yeah, it barely
Everything
exists.
except African, right? I think what it does do, right? You've heard me talk about this on a few occasions, is that black people come into existence as a result of African people's interaction with the European. You see, the black identity comes into existence as a result of our interaction with them. You see, black people exist as a result of our parlay with these people, right? That's when black as an identity and as an ethnic group come into existence. See what I'm saying? So
we're in black.
that's what the film is representing. They put it in Viola Davis' mouth. She's like, yo, even if they aren't Dahomey, they're our people. This is not something that existed.
Yeah, that's no.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we looking at it like, damn, our own people was did this to us, but in actuality, it was not that.
Yeah.
How you say it was that for us, to a very small extent, because we a gumbo pot of all of that shit.
Right now.
We you know what I'm saying? We a big bowl of gumbo of all of them fucking groups.
Yeah.
We are Creole people, really.
Yeah. Even some of them white people.
Fuck that. All right, well, we are Creole.
But yeah,
we're Creole people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And that's the fact. So
I think even a big way of looking at that right now. If an alien came down and wanted to destroy planet Earth, and we had to get together to eradicate the alien or whatever.
Yeah.
We lost. All humans on planet Earth are related. Like, we're able to procreate with each other. We're all human. And they be like, why are you killing each other? Or killing each other? Because I'm black, you're white, you're that.
Mm-hmm.
But the alien be like, man, y'all human. It's like you're not pan-human. Like, you don't get, like, we got beef. You know, that's with, like, so they, like, the same way we looking at them crazy right now on film, people could look at us crazy today. Or you'd be like, I'm Chinese, I'm American, I'm Ukraine or whatever. This is kind of similar to where we have these borders, but is I guess like cultural and historical, like everybody didn't have that concept. So like black was a new concept. White wasn't, like, they didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? It was more African nations. Same way North Korea fighting this or whatever. It's like, I'm not, you like, they're all Chinese to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all, like, I'm not Chinese, no, I'm Korean. Like, whatever. Like, it's the same. We can look at the, like, these borders. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like physical borders or culture borders. Yeah, just culture borders. Like, it's not a real thing. So we all kind of look to step back and see those things. And so it's not like, these people are horrible or they dumb. It's not, we all do that kind of thing. Braveheart. I actually never seen all of Braveheart. I kind of want to watch it now. But same thing, you know, England was banging on these dudes over here and oppressed and blah blah blah. It's the same, it's the same stuff. We look at them like, oh, they're white. What's wrong with them? Right? Kind of similar. The Irish. When Queen Elizabeth died, King of England, she got my queen. And I know Ireland was colonized. they was singing like cheering if he died. And like I didn't know they were still colonized by them.
Hmm.
I'm like, wow,
They always will be.
that's crazy. I thought the white stuff was just like we cool, we white.
Until they throw a rock at the White House, you feel me, bro?
Yeah.
That's what.
Right. All right. Let me wrap this thing up real quick. Charlemagne the God in Breakfast Club, he made a comment. He said he'd rather watch this movie or more movies like this than slave movies. Question: was this still technically a slave movie?
Hell yeah. To me,
was it a slave movie?
Was this still technically be considered a slave movie?
it's
I
about
say no.
slave trade.
No,
I
you
say
say
no.
you say that.
Yeah, I say yeah for sure. I seen.
Hey,
I know what I seen. I seen
you still
slaves.
slavery? Why do you think it wasn't a slave movie?
I mean, I say no because when I think about a slave movie, right? I think
But
12 years a slave. I think Roots, right? I think you
slavery
know,
happened in it, but it wasn't about
yo,
the
I think
experience of a slave.
yeah, I think this movie here was I put it more in the vein with like a Django. I don't consider Django Unchained a slave movie. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
kind of do. This
you
one I
do.
don't. This one I don't.
Yeah.
Django I do because like 50-50 though. I do
Wait, you know what?
because
I can understand why you say that
the
because
experience it broke down the experiences of this one. People were enslaved, right? But they didn't go into like how they felt. Like it wasn't focused on that. Django focused on some slavery,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
half of it was about the guy beating, winning, and getting his girl back. So it was like I give it 50-50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this right here it had slavery in it, but it wasn't based on that. It was so much
Yeah,
other
yeah.
stuff. Then so I give you yeah.
I think I think that it's a movie about, you know, liberation and it portrays
It's
a
some
kingdom a
yeah.
kingdom at a crossroads. They're having a crisis of conscience, right? Crisis of consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're learning, I say, through their interaction with the European. They're learning, they're growing into.
That shit is shaking.
Yo, is that a storm?
Yeah.
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 Ooh wee, ooh
For
wee.
real.
Yo, they growing into
Oh my god.
a Pan African consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a result of interacting with the people that has an us versus them mentality.
Yeah.
And it includes, when they say them, right? It includes these people over here that you see in the same way, us versus them,
Yeah.
right? I think that that's more where it's at. I'm not mad at it, right? If they're gonna now get it. Here's my issue with the criticism, right?
Okay.
We talking about we want to see more uh more films, right? About African kingdoms and African empires and this, that, and the third. But
Mm-hmm.
here's my challenge to you. Find a kingdom
Uh-oh.
in Africa that
It just
did not have some form of quote unquote slavery or servitude.
this is difference though between this is even when I watched which interview was it? Slavery. We get there's a funny word when we talk about historical slavery. It was an interview about Sankofa. When we talk about white slavery, racist chattel slavery.
Okay.
That's the same form of certain servitude. People with what's the other things people do when they buy themselves? It's indentured servants and things like
Indentured
that.
servitude and all that. Right.
Cause a lot of times it's prisoners of war, and you could be done with like it's like a limit on it. What white people did, which was different, would make the form different. What people say is this: it became a forever thing. Like you're black, you're just automatically a slave. It ain't what you stole, it ain't what you owe. You slave, your kids are slave. That's a whole different thing that people were doing before in many other places. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It wasn't like, oh, you're in debt. So people put themselves a slave. Hey, I need a trip to get this boat, and I don't got no money. I'll work for you for a year or two. That's not what
No. How you say is more so? No, you owe me. You're in debt, so you work for me to pay off this debt.
Yeah.
Right. As a matter of fact, you actually have in certain states in the United States what's called debtors' prisons, where if you're in debt, they can put you in jail. Right.
You don't pay child support. You are
not even that. I'm talking about like certain states. There's something called debtors' prisons, right? Where if you're in debt, like the bill collectors be on your ass, you in the wrong state, you might go to jail.
Yeah, this is
right.
In this building that just did about.
Yo, so, but look, here's my thing, right? You're right in the sense that Africans, the way that people refer to as slavery or servitude, did not do it in the same way that the European did it. But that includes that homie.
No, exactly. So I'm not counting them as that European slavery shit.
You know what I mean?
But even before with Rome and Greece, like, all right, how did these communities expand? Once they conquer you, they turn you into them, and then you're free. So they're like, now you serve if you pushing the line, like the homie. Then you can leave, or you could be here.
It's an important question.
White people will do this. Oh, we copied the slaves. We're gonna work until you die, and we're gonna breed you, and it's a whole different, forever getting resources from like. It was, I'm saying,
but you see,
get out of it.
You see the trick. You see the trick that you got to be careful with when you use certain terms blanketly, right? And you see what I'm saying? Because in the example,
Kemet a lot.
They do it a lot with Kim. They do it, but look, even in this case with Benin or with that homie, you know, there was a passage or you was talking about they sacrificed 800 slaves to a king, right? Now off rip, we think that these are the same people that they're trading in the transatlantic slave trade, right? But when you study traditional African kingdoms, you find that there are people that were quote unquote servants or loyal to the king that were often offer themselves up to be sacrificed to go with their king, to serve their king in the spirit realm. Just like jokers go to church every day to hope to one day die to serve their king up in heaven and shit. Forever and forever. You see, it's the exact same concept, right? You know, but I don't care where you look from ancient Kemet. Now, they eventually stopped in Kemet, but this was a practice in Kemet as well. You know, where you know, servants or what have you were sacrificed. They will offer themselves up to die with their king, to go and serve their king and, you know, and be with their king in the spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? Meaning if the king died, right?
Oh, okay.
they would offer themselves up ritually to die with their king
Oh,
before their time, right? I'm going to continue to serve my king in the quote unquote hereafter, right? This is a practice that you find throughout the
Hey, wow.
continent. You find it throughout the continent. So the illusion that's being presented or painted here is that Benin and all their evil and wickedness, they're going and catching these people from all these different places and sacrificing them in the memory of their king. I'm almost willing to fucking bet that it was some of their own people that were loyal to the king and volunteered themselves to go with their king, because that was a practice.
yeah.
Yo, here's a yo. You remember the movie, The Watchmen?
Yeah.
Okay, in The Watchmen, there's the guy that made like a pyramid type situation. Wasn't it Adrian or something like that?
Glowing dark man.
He was real smart, and he had made like a pyramid, and then the cat that used to wear the rag over his face, he went to him towards the end, and there was somebody that dude had killed in the joint, in the pyramid. He had killed them to serve him, so that he'd be a servant for him in the spirit realm, right? That's I say that is what he was pulling from, and what he perverted, right? Was a practice that you actually do find in the continent, where people would volunteer. They were servants of the king or whatever, loyalists to the king, and they volunteered to go with their king. You know what I mean? It ain't no different from what a billion Christians do.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? A billion Christians do for their King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You know what I'm saying? Every Sunday they live in a certain way. They live their life and they offer their life. They offer their soul, right? Offer their soul to their king, right? So that they can go and live with him forever. Muslims do it. You know what I'm saying? They willing, how you say, if you die, say die not lest you die the death of a Muslim. Right? He who dies in the way or cause of Allah is not dead. Right? This is the shit that they say as they offer their life. Surely I turn myself unto thee, O Allah, being upright, and I am not amongst the polytheists. My life, my death, right? My life and my death, right, is all for thee, O Allah, Lord of the worlds, right? And you say that my soul and my person has been purchased. This is the shit that we said.
Yeah.
Right? So
when it's different,
you know what I mean? But because it's African.
Here we go. On
It's
that note,
vilified.
that's the Woman's King issue. Broke them down. Saga City, Bloodlines of Kemet. We're gonna wrap it up. Anything you want to say, Beno, as far as the book you're working on? You got the Kemet trip in December.
Yo, it's still got time. You got time. You trying to get on that trip? The date is December 5th through the 14th. The final day to register is November 5th. Right? So if you still want to go, right? It's $2,900. Right? You want to go, you can get in there, right? And join us for the experience of a lifetime. It's something that you're never ever going to forget, and you probably gonna want to go. You probably gonna be a repeat offender. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And go and actually see the things that you'll read about in our book, Saga City. You know what I'm saying?
The link in the description to check out. So everything we writing about, stuff we researched and we seen. So we're going into
full depth.
Get some more research, some more tap into the soul. But yeah, You seen Woman King? Great film. Here to break down some of the issues and not issues, but what people talking about and
Yo, do
how
you
it's.
recommend people go see it?
No,
We never said it.
I definitely recommend people to see it. I definitely. This is he did say it's better than Black Panther. It is. It's not as I don't want to say cheesy. It's
Fake.
very it's real. It's like it's very
Black Panther
the
is a superhero.
quality, the deep the budget. Like it was a real budget.
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther was a real budget too. But Marvel movies do great. For some reason, I like the DC, like the texture, the look, it's more authentic. They
Mm-hmm.
don't do it well, box office wise. But this looks like reality.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm gonna watch the movie again, probably a few times. But for what we do, eventually we're gonna make a film. We're gonna make multiple films. That's what we do. We start at the beginning. We're gonna film. So I was looking at one thing I never seen before this level was some of the wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? So like, how it look too like intricate? Like it'll be too hard. Like what did they wear? How they wore it? So now, thankful with the film, we got something to compare it to. We got something to build. No, we gotta do like a standard. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do better than that. We gotta have that kind of. So get to see that kind of stuff, the wardrobe, things like that, whatever. Then the city, the house, I looked itself and everything, and yeah, like the lighting. Okay, they use fire, or they had this, or they had that, or some of the. You always see the White Castles in Europe and all that kind of stuff, but to kind of see how they would do this stuff like that. So it was great. We need a lot more, and I thought we was gonna be one of the first ones, but it's good to have that example out.
Yeah.
We want to do better. Yeah, that's step one. Black
Yeah.
Panther went here, they went here, and we keep going.
Yeah. Dope. Yeah. I highly recommend folk go see it. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Go see it, support it. They did their
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
They did the thing.
Mhm.
Yo, don't listen to the noise. Jokers is boycotting. They trying to boycott the joint. Like they actually boycott. They mad. Right? They mad for whatever reason. They scared for whatever reason. You got real black folk doing it. Brother that's playing the king, he's brilliant in real life, right? He is black in real life and pro-black in real life, and you know what I mean? Like and unapologetically in love with and exclusively in love with black women, and they don't like it. They don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I say support the film, man. That's what I'm gonna go see it. We might go see it again as soon as we get off here like that. That's what's
All right, family, get out of here. Good episode. We're gonna chop this up. Let us know in the comments what's going on. Peace.
All right, family.
Peace.